I've been asked a really interesting question recently. Would that course apply to people with ADD and ADHD as well? So the Focus First formula is mainly for dyslexic people. But in order to answer the question, I need to make a distinction between what is the difference between being dyslexic and being ADD, ADHD, or you can be both, of course. So in the first part of the video, I explain the difference. In the second part, I explain why this course applies for both equally well. So the first distinction I see, dyslexic people are picture thinkers, or they learn kinesthetically. So their right brain is stronger than the left brain. So visually, they can really make sense of the world in an early stage until they're exposed to the written word. That could be in the form of a story you read, but it could be first time at school when they have to start writing or reading or writing their name down, and everything doesn't have a meaning. A lot of things they write, first of all, are the 2- and 3-letter words. And of course, none of them, or most of them, not none of them, most of them don't have a clear picture with it. In of it, so are the first words they learn. And they get confusion. They don't get a reaction. So that's what happens in their brain. When there's a confusion there, the brain switches off. It disorients. So it hasn't got the same, it hasn't taken in the same knowledge and the same perception at what other kids do when they look at something. It's like you're sitting in a car, you're going through a car wash, the car does not move, the bristles move through the car, but you have the impression that the car moves. It is an illusion. And that is kind of what happens with dyslexia. There are things get in and give them a different perception, and mistakes happen, and guesswork happens, and insecurities and confusion pile up. Well, in ADD, ADHD, attention deficit disorder, and attention deficit disorder with hyperactive component are a little bit different. So it's not so much the written word as life itself is extremely confusing because they take in everything. So it starts being noticed much earlier than dyslexia. In very early childhood, you have this child hyperactively moving around, losing and missing nothing. You think they didn't hear something, you think I have to tell everything 6 times, but in fact they have heard it all. They just move on really, really quickly, and they live in their own world because everything in this world is extremely slow and boring. So when they get to school, the same thing happens. There is so much happening, there is so much new stimulation from the environment. So of course the attention, the focus is not on the reading, or is on a reading on limited time. So they have the same lack of focus and the same lack of understanding, but mainly because there are distractions everywhere and their mind flits around. Their mind's eye is not on one spot, it is everywhere, because they don't want to miss anything. They can't help but taking in the big picture in life. So next time I tell you why this program is so well tailored for both. And so join me.